Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video I'm going to be doing similar to my other videos. I'm going to be doing a voiceover of my battles that I did on June 16th. I made it really close to expert. It fell a little bit short. Had one really bad set. The cutowns are also pretty long, so maybe it's for the best. So let's go ahead and get started. This first team was just by Lunch Money, who always has a pretty interesting team. Double counter user team. Obviously, a charm lead. Charm lead is not too common, but a charm lead, you basically would stay and just Brave Bird. I didn't shield there because it was going to be a cross shop at worst. And then they come in with Needle Queen. I'm just going to Brave Bird and then dip. Does a whole heck of a lot of damage. And they switch out into Jellicent. And they decided to leave the game there. I'm not sure they knew that I had Obscure in the back. I'm not really sure why they left. Anyways, okay, go Starfetch into Needle Queen. Kind of a tough lead here, to be honest, because it resists the counters. It also gets to these Poison Fangs really quickly. And I'm just going to throw the Brave Bird and switch. I'm not sure that's the appropriate play. I could always throw the Leap Blade, but I figure that they're not going to shield here. And they don't. And I'm going to switch out into Drifblim. A little bit of lag there. That's quite alright. And they come into Umbreon here, which is not great for me, obviously. And I need to figure out a way to play out this matchup. And some people are predicting Scrafty in the back. It's definitely possible. Because Needle Queen Double Dark is pretty common. I really thought about shielding here. This ends up being a CMP tie, I believe. Thought about preserving my Drifblim. But I didn't want to get switch locked in with this Needle Queen and not be able to get out. So I come into Top Scoon here. I don't need shield because this is already 2-stage debuffed. But unfortunately they have Altaria, which is not great for me. Because we're playing the 2-shield matchup, it does resist counter. So what do I do here? So I stay. I think I get the boost here. No, I actually don't get the boost here. I have to shield this matchup. They did over farm there, so not really a great situation for me. I throw the Night Slash. They shield. I get the boost. And I shield here. And then they make a nice play out to Needle Queen. Maybe I should have farmed down. They were really close to the Poison Fang. Maybe like one more. But I probably should have committed to the farm down. Because this Altaria is just going to be able to beat me otherwise. Yeah, so I definitely should farm down. The Umbreon's still at like 40% health, so it would have been really difficult to beat. And then you can see how close I am to the Sleep Blade. Literally like one counter off. And then I probably would have been able to beat the Umbreon with the combination of the two. But really, really close game there. I should have farmed down the Needle Queen. It was really my only potential win con there. Okay, so this is a very good lead for me, obviously. They come into Toxicrow. I expect it to be a Gallade in the back. So I'm gonna... They actually mud bomb here. I actually didn't realize that they mud bombed. So I threw I must have thrown like one counter beforehand. So I Shadow Ball there. I could have Icy Wind and potentially farm down. But I'm in a pretty good spot right now. No waterfall through. My Drifblim is a true XL one. It's a rank 2. So it is considerably tankier than the 100% one. The 100% one's still good. It does still quite well against Empoleon. As you can see, I do live the Hydro Cannon. And I'm able to get this last Shadow Ball off. They decide to no shield because they're expecting to be an Icy Wind. Yeah, it's going to be a Gallade here. And this is pretty much game over here, right? Like they have to eventually close combat me, and once they do, then I'll just be able to counter them down with Surfetch here. So they shield. I know for sure this can't be, very likely won't be a close combat, but it's like maybe their only potential way to win is to close combat my Obstagoon early. Otherwise, like they would just be too low in health and shields. So I think I let this go because if they close combat me, I'll just counter them down with Surfetch. They Leaf Blade me here, and this is absolutely game over. So gonna be GG there. All right, this next game here is against King'S. So I go up to the Brave Bird, which is basically right before they get to the Octazooka. And I'm going to throw the Leaf Blade here, and they make like a pretty crazy call here and decide not to shield. I guess it's not so crazy because like to Brave Bird and Dip is like pretty uncommon, but I was almost certain that they were going to shield, so it was a really nice play on this side. And they actually go for the Outrage here. Honestly, the Octazooka probably would have KO'd. So now I'm going to actually just farm down. And they come into Dragonite. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get to the move here. That's okay. I do expect it to be Empoleon in the back. So I feel pretty good here. What do I do here? I let this go. They throw the Dragon Claw. They make a really nice play here. And basically catch the move. But now I'm in an alright position here because I'm just going to look to counter down. I've debuffed this Empoleon. So I let this go. And then I think I throw at 7, right? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I throw at 6 because I guess I would have went over 100. And plus this would KO anyways. And then I'm going to throw the Night Slash here. And I'm in a really good spot right now. They decide to not shield, which makes sense because if I boosted, then the second Night Slash would just one shot from there. But it's basically game over at that point in time. So I go Surfetch into Talonflame. I think okay, this is a pretty tricky game here. I think I decide to not shield this because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a Flame Charge. They get an Incinerate through. I Brave Bird to take a shield. I get an extra Hex through, which makes sense. They Flame Charge here. They go up to the Brave Bird. I'm going to throw a 1 here and then throw the Shadow Ball. Oh, man. Unfortunately, they just barely survived there. I'd throw the Icy Wind here. And do some damage, which is great. I let this go. I was kind of worried that it was going to be a Machamp in the back. Considering like that they came in with Swampert and they were so hesitant to come in. So I let this go. I go into Surfetch here. I bank this Leaf Blade. So I shield this because I think I'm like, okay, if this is Machamp, maybe my only chance here is to like just bank some energy. And if I can grab a shield or something. I think it actually ends up being a Slow King, which this person's just absolutely monstrous. I just did farm down their Slow King, and it doesn't really matter what they throw at me. I'm gonna live anything. I double resist the confusion damage, and this is the Ultra League, right? So there's not really too much they can do here. They decide to no shield this. They don't have a Leaf Blade, and then I get the boost here, and I throw the Night Slash. And once I land this Night Slash, this is absolute game over. Now they're gonna Fire Blast me, but it doesn't really matter here. I'll easily live the Fire Blast, and then I throw the Night Slash here to take the win. I like the Starfetch lead. Obviously, it can be a little bit tricky here, but I did go up against a Flyer, and I don't really have if there was like Double Charm something, which is not too common to find this season. So Empoleon versus Obstagoon. This is the second team. I have basically like kind of a double pseudo grass team. They come into Gavantula. I already know his team. It's going to be, because I faced his team previously, he's going to be a Talonflame in the back. And honestly, this back line is really hard for me to deal with. So that right there is Ivy dependent, like the CMP there. So I should have just thrown the Leaf Blade prior to, but that's okay. I should be able to land another one here. Because if I would have been able to throw beforehand, then I would have been okay. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get. Maybe I could have actually, if I would try to complete one more confusion. Because I really need this damage here. Unfortunately, we lag a little bit there. I kind of just stand there. He makes the correct play here by Brave Birding. He also has a lot of energy on Obstagoon. I insta switch because I know he's going to switch. Brave Bird does more damage than Flame Charge, despite Brave Bird being resisted. Just that Flame Charge is a really, really strong move here. So I should have went for Power Whip here, because I only get to one move. But I underestimated how much energy he had banked versus my Gallade, because I tried to shield here, and there's like absolutely no chance. I don't even get even close to the move here. And I really need this last shield here. Well, remotely close as in like I'm like one off here. I probably win CMP, so maybe if I didn't let the counter through. But this is absolutely game over here. I think actually, I don't know if I actually don't. I don't leave this. Cross chop. And actually, I'm not sure if you undercharge that. But that's going to be GG there. Unfortunately, maybe if I played a little bit better there. Okay, so obviously really tough lead here. This is Wholesome from the Wholesome _ stream. So a really great battler. I'm pretty sure I know his team in the back. It's gonna be a Snorlax in the back, Shadow Snorlax in the back. So I'm in like pretty big trouble here. He does acid spray me, which allows him to farm me down pretty much. So what I plan to do here is I just want to come out with energy versus this Amok here. And he makes a mistake here, in my opinion, by acid spraying me here, because I'm just going to switch out anyways. And these poison jabs still don't do anything. I throw the Drill Peck here just to grab a shield. And then I switch here, and then he switches out into Snorlax. I could have just straight close combated here, but I think I went with like what I felt was like the safer plan, which was to basically throw a Leaf Blade here and then throw another Leaf Blade, and then I'm just gonna farm down this Snorlax here. So he can't lick down, so he plays it correctly right here by not shielding. Because I probably would have got... maybe I would have been able to get the Leaf Blade off, but Leaf Blade wouldn't have been enough. So, and a Drill Peck will be enough here. I'm able to get to the move here. It's a CMP tie, or basic, CMP tie. And the Waterfalls plus the Drill Pecks is enough to KO. And actually, funny enough, we played later in the stream, and I hard countered him, and he won. So it was kind of funny how it all turned around. So really shows that like winning the lead against like these really top battlers is not that important. So this is a very tough lead here for me. They always lunge here, but it's just too risky for me at this point in the stage to no shield, because I really don't have a great answer to the Gavantula. So I throw one Waterfall, then throw the move. So they're like 2 away. And at this point in time, if they lunge me, this is what I thought. If they lunge me, I'm just going to switch out right away. I'm just going to switch out to Gallade here. So they're 1. So I'm actually okay here, as long as they don't Mega Horn me. If they Drill Run or Aerial Ace me, I'm actually going to be able to live here and still be able to get to the double close combat here. So this close combat will KO this Escav. And if they shield, then I'll be able to throw another one at them. And then I immediately throw the close combat here, because I didn't want them to farm that much. It ends up being a Swampert. So this close combat, if they would have called the close combat here, that would have been absolutely insane. It would did still like a stupid amount of damage to Swampert. It would did like half. So I'm in a really good spot right now. So the close combat allowed them to get less farm. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they stayed for so long. Obviously they wanted me to dump energy, and I'm like, if they sludge wave me, then they're just gonna win the game. So kudos to them if they have sludge wave. But most of them carry earthquake, and they come in with Gavantula, but I'm able to throw the rock slide to take out this Gavantula, and this is absolutely game over here. So pretty standard team that I'm running. Just with like the Tangrowth is a little bit of spice. A lot of times it's Venusaur, but Tangrowth certainly has its pros and cons. It has better like flyer matchup because of Rock Slide, but it also has the worst fighter matchup. So a lot of times the fighters get the best of Tangrowth. So what do I do here? I shield this. I'm gonna load up on energy, and I throw 3 here, and then in the middle of it, I decide to go in and take it out, and they come in Togekiss here. I threw okay on this one here. I threw kind of recklessly on this next one here. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's absolutely the worst time to throw. I should be throwing at 4, 6, or 7. Because then if I would have threw correctly, then I would have got that rock slide off. But I wouldn't CMP versus Togekiss, so I'm gonna throw the Hydro Cannon here. If they would have caught something, then kudos to them. But they actually have a pretty insane Pokemon in the back, which is gonna be this Slurpuff. The first time I've actually seen this, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" So I decided to switch and then just Leaf Blade it. I'm just gonna be able to barely survive and get to the move here. So that worked out okay for me. Yeah, I was a little bit confused on that Pokemon, and I think there's one last battle there. Yeah, I was really confused on that team, but that's okay. We're gonna go Empoleon versus Nidoqueen. So this matchup, okay, so very tricky matchup here. Maybe I could have went straight to Tangrowth. What do I expect in the back? I expect a fighter in the back, right? Because they obviously have to cover for their steel weakness. I was hoping that was going to be Machamp. They straight up superpowered me, which really sucks here. And I come into Tangrowth here, and I make a couple mistakes here. One, I should have committed to the farm down. They have extra energy, so as you can see here. So it's going to be 6 more for this next one. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I could have farmed down. So I basically go to almost 100 energy. And then I throw the Power Whip here, hoping to grab a shield. And then they don't shield here. I do get a confusion off on it. Here, I should have just went straight for the Leaf Blade right away. I tried to get these extra confusions in, but then I ended up burning both shields here. So it was a huge mistake on my side. I should have baited. I should have just took this Night Slash here. But I was afraid of getting Poison Jab down. And there was a little bit of lag there, but it didn't really make a huge difference. They decided to no-shield this. And I probably should have just did... I didn't let a Poison Jab through, but I'm not going to be able to complete the second confusion here. And I should have just switched. I don't know. And then I'm not... There's no way I'm going to be able to... These Poison Jabs are just way too strong, and they're able to take me out. I knew that there was going to be a counter user in the back. I was really hoping it was going to be Shadow Machamp. So that's why. Honestly, I probably should have just shielded and then kept Empoleon alive and then just switch out to Tangrowth, or one shielded, farm down, and then double power whipped the Nidoqueen. So take half its health and a shield, or take it out completely. And then I would have just had Obstagoon in the back with one shield. which I should be able to deal with Gallade. So as you can see there, I made some mistakes, but my opponents played really well there in all those battles. So thank you very much for the great battles. Hopefully you enjoyed me recapping some of my battles, the teams I used that I think were pretty fun to use. Obviously, the first one's a little bit wonky. Double weak to charm in the lead, and like no steel type to cover the charm weakness, but you can throw the Brave Bird, and then obviously Servetch is super fun to play. Anyways, I'm gonna leave there. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.